Everybody, attention please. Good to see you all here. Welcome to our Toastmasters meeting. I am the president of the club, Dennis Tromez. Glad to see you all here. We have a guest, a very smart, intelligent guest here, an engineer, another fellow engineer. Mohammed, we're honored to have you. Mohammed, would you like to introduce yourself and then tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yep. Sure. Yeah, my name is Mohammed Khair. I'm from Sudan, and I have been in US for 1.5 years, following my wife. I am married and I have 2 sons, Kareem and Yusuf. And I have been in Fairfield since October 2016 and was working at Ideal Energy Solar Company as a designer engineer. Yeah.
Thank you, Mohammed. Great to have you here.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Yep. Good to see you again today.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep. The mission of our club is to provide a mutually supportive and positive learning environment in which every member has the opportunity to develop oral communication and leadership skills, which in turn foster self-confidence and personal growth. 2 monotonous announcements. Be sure your phone is on silent. Do not disturb or it's off. We don't want to hear it.
Imperative. That'd be turned off.
Imperative, yes, turn it off. Competent Leadership Manual. For those of you who are role players for the evening, be sure you have someone fill out your book for yourself and your club at the end of our meeting. We had a session, a TLI session last Saturday, so we made some great progress with some input from members and officers. One thing we're going to start doing is announcing all our officers to make sure that everybody is aware, both our members and our guests, of who our officers are. It'll be a good habit to start. Our VP of Membership and PR, Mr. Will Burns. Woo! Emery Styron, the VP of Education. Fraser Jones is our honored Sergeant of Arms. Dan Craig, our Treasurer. At this point in the meeting, it's my duty to tell you guys, for those of you at home, we're nearby the ice cream aisle, and it used to be mac and cheese sale. But don't forget, next week, come over here at 7:40. Now is the time to introduce our Toastmaster for the evening, Hudaifa.
Fellow Toastmasters and our guests and viewers at home, welcome again this week. Our theme today will be staying motivated. I wish I'm motivated when I say I wish. Okay, let's start with our roles today with Timer. Ms. Timer Miranda, could you please introduce yourself or your role?
Thank you. Tonight, with the power of these 2 electronics, I shall be keeping time. We are exclusively doing table topics, which means when you hit the 1 minute, you will have the qualifying green. When you hit 1.5 minutes, 1.5. And at 2 minutes, you are red, and you have 30 seconds to wrap up before you are disqualified as one of our best table topic speakers tonight. And I will give a report at the end.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And for the counter role, we have Beda, Mr. Beda.
Good evening. The purpose of the yacht counter is to note words and sounds such as crutch or filler words that are used by anyone who speaks during the meeting. I will watch and report the ahs, ums, likes, you knows, so's, buts, ands, tongue clicks, pauses, etc. And I will also note repeated words or phrases.
Thank you.
Mr. Top.
And for the grammarian role, Mr. Peter.
As grammarian, it is my duty to listen carefully to everything everyone says and to take note of any particularly good use of the English language and any slight missteps that may be present in the talks that we hear. And I will give a report at the end.
It's imperative that you tell us what the word of the day is.
Aha, you are correct. Imperative comes from the Latin, the word to command. The word emperor is related to it. And it means what it says, urgent, obligatory, pressing. And the sample sentence is on the board. It is imperative that we should leave the building before the building collapses. In other words, there's a penalty involved if we don't get that done. There are, I think, extra points coming for the use of the word in everyone's table topics speech.
Thank you. And finally, we have our general evaluator, Rana. And he will be also our joke master for this night. And now, let's introduce our table topics master for tonight. Mr. Dan Craig. He has something in his bag. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Fellow Toastmasters, honored guest, viewers at home. Table Topics is our chance to come up and speak for 1 to 2 minutes extemporaneously, no preparation. In this version of Table Topics, we're going to do what's called Props Night. You're going to come up, stick your hand in the bag, pull out an item from here, and I want you to do 1 or 2 things. I want you to either tell the crowd how they must buy this, or their life will just not be the same. Or I want you to tell the crowd how it's imperative that they avoid this object at all costs. So everybody understand the rules? I need my first volunteer.
Well, I can volunteer, but I just need to clarify. Will and I are evaluators. Do you want to alternate? Take every other one and you evaluate the first?
That sounds good.
I'll take 1, take 2, and then go from there.
You're 1, I'm 2.
Okay.
Okay.
I have my first volunteer. It's Miranda. Prana, would you come? Let's see, I don't think there's anything sharp. We'll find out.
Or gooey. I can handle sharp, just don't let it be gooey. Like gack. Ooh. Oh.
You only get credit for one.
Oh, 30 seconds, please. 30 seconds, please. The highlighter of truth. Every word that you highlight must become truth. Ladies and gentlemen of Toastmasters, this is my table topic tonight. If you held the highlighter of truth, how much would you use it? If you knew that what you highlighted on paper became true, would you use it? Well, that would be a huge responsibility. What if you didn't use it and new truth or actual truth wasn't continually presenting itself to society? What if society needed the truth and the only person to give them the truth was the person who held this highlighter? Okay, well, maybe you could give the highlighter to another person. Well, you trust them? Do you know them? What's their birthday? In what house is Mercury represented by Jupiter? I mean, all these things play with the highlighter of truth. The thing is, it only has so much fluid in it. We could present as much truth as we want, but at some point, the highlighter runs out of fluid. Game on.
Thank you, Miranda. Now you see how it's done, or one way to do it. So I need another volunteer. I want you to tell us why you need to buy something or why it's imperative that you avoid it at all costs. Peter, please come up.
"30 seconds, please." Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce to you this beautiful and very rare vase. And it's not just a large vase, it is a vase that's perfect for holding a boutonniere or for some little bouquet that you will pick when spring comes and present to your sweetheart. It can be used by the members of either gender. And actually, you can present it with the flowers and tell them exactly what they should hear from you. How you appreciate them, how you wish that they enjoy this, and how it will keep their flowers very fresh. The value of the boutonniere is, the value of the vase is that it will allow for a proper display of the flowers that you are presenting. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I suggest to you that it is imperative, or at least useful, or at least the right thing to do, to purchase this item and make use of it. Thank you.
Okay, everybody gets the idea, I guess. Mohammed, I also want to invite you to give it a try at some point. I think everybody in the room is gonna speak, so you can join us. Who's my next volunteer? There's Prana.
Salesman. That's what we're doing. Just reach into this mystery bag. It's a pretty deep bag. Yeah. Pretty deep. Okay. Excellent. Just what I need. Okay. So, I guess I'm on the clock, but I don't really need much time to sell you this. I think you're all pretty much aware of the value. It's actually, there are only, this is made of a specific mineral. It's called unobtainium. It's a very rare mineral. And there's only 14 of these made. But, so if you like priceless things, there are only 14 of these made. There's plenty of gold out there. There's plenty of, everything has value, but this is only valuable because there are a few of them. I don't know what it does, but but to be honest, just the fact that it's scarce, I demand. I actually only own one. I don't know if the other 13 are in existence or not, but therefore this item is called a. It's actually, to be honest, it's just a baby's shoe. What do you call it? A shoe elevator. You put it in your foot, and you start elevating. Consciousness elevates from your shoes up into your heart chakra. Because it is an unobtainium. That's the value of unobtainium. It's basically, you have no idea what it does. But to be honest, it is a baby's shoe support. Finally got it out. This is what it is. It's a baby's shoe support. It is imperative that you buy it. Thank you. Thank you. Figured it out.
I'm glad it got imperative. All right. And who's next? Fraser. Come on up. We've got time. We'll get to everybody. Grab the back. Oh, just so you know, it's a pair. It's a pair. Oh.
Wow, you all can see what happiness this brings. You must buy it. Hear all the laughter. Yeah, you can use this as little puppets. Or yeah, look at this side. It has some rubber dots. Indispensable, you might. When you what do you think? Don't you think you need one of these? Oh, up here. Everybody can do with this. You can do whatever you want. A happy smiling face on one side, and feet can leave impressions on the other side. You all can not do without this. Buy it now.
Okay. Good.
Be aware of keeping these things with your children. These kind of things are very dangerous to stay at home with your children toys. It's very simple for your children to just put it in his mouth, or yeah, that's true. I have 2 children and I know exactly what they're doing. The first thing when your son is when your son is starting crawling is just putting everything in his mouth. This is the first problem with these kind of things. The other thing is with his little fingers, he can just simply put his finger here, and that will make a very painful injury in his fingers or even in his lips. So to keep your children safe, keep these things away from your children. Thank you.
Okay, everybody's gonna go. Who's next? Veda.
Mr. Topics Master, club members and guests, and viewers at home. Imagine a life without cups. I bet that there's not a day that goes by that you don't use a cup. If we had no cups, imagine the trouble that we'd have at cafeterias. People would be licking their trays, trying to get their cranberry juice out of their trays. Anything you have to drink, you need a cup. I say this is one of the greatest inventions of all time. In fact, even in the Bible, they tested the troops in a famous Bible story. They said, watch them go down to the river and drink. The ones that made a cup out of their hands were accepted into the army, which is like 10%. The rest were sent home, who just were like dogs and licked the water. But still, God's favor, and I guess the intelligence of these fighters was so supreme that they won a huge battle. You Bible experts, please send me an email to tell me what battle that was, because I don't remember. So I think that it is imperative and historical that we have cups. Think about the Holy Grail. They're still looking for it. And here it is. This is the Holy Grail. Bidding once, twice. Mr. Topic.
Henry's gonna go.
Ready?
Good man. Ouch! Oh, the mouse trap. Ooh.
Greetings, fellow Toastmasters, honored guests, viewers at home. What we have here is a well-worn spatula. I happened to pick up one of these in a dollar store. My wife has an interesting Christmas tradition we've just started in the past few years of now we have 14 members in our family when we gather, and we each get like $30 and are sent out to buy a gift for each person plus yourself with that $30. So that forces you into the dollar stores and the dollar shelves of Walmart. And it's amazing what you can find there once you get your mind in the zone of getting useful or fun gifts for $1 a piece. But I picked up a spatula for my granddaughter, who's 22, I think now, and she had the wisdom to say, you can never have too many spatulas. So it's imperative that you pick one of these up if you get the chance. Thank you.
Another nice sale at the Imperative Company. Will, come on up.
You don't have to say anything.
For those of you way in the back who may not be able to see this, this is a pair of earbuds. But these are more than just some of the finest technological advancements that man and woman has ever achieved. This is also freedom. This is also power. Power to basically take this, to plug them into whatever device, and to have knowledge flowing directly into your brain. You can listen to music. You can feel inspired. So that whatever battles you do in the day, you have the heart of a lion. You have that fire. You're listening to Survivor, Eye of the Tiger, or listening to Staying Alive by the Bee Gees. Whatever your thing is, fires you up. Maybe you're good. You're cruising, you know, everything's fine. Your day is going well. But you just need a little bit more. You can listen. Some of the great minds of the 21st century speak about any topic: philosophy, history, engineering, about how far we've come and about how far we're going into the future. These earbuds represent a chance to step beyond ourselves, to actually share in the entirety of humanity and our progress. And it's amazing to me that we can tap into this with just a small little device that we often just put in our pocket, that we wrap around our device, and that for a time was in danger of being gone forever. So, thank you.
Jeff, you look like you've been inspired. Come on up.
That's dental floss. No wonder.
Say some beautiful things about this.
Fellow Toastmasters, it's great to be here tonight. This opportunity to talk to you about. I still can't quite. Oh, this is a tiny pot. Whoops. Is this cork supposed to come out? Oh, great. I having a real hard time up here. I even told myself I was going to get myself in a really good mood to come to Toastmasters tonight, and I saw Will, and he got me in a good mood, and I was so inspired by his talk about the headphones that I remembered that my iPhone 7 doesn't have the headset jack. It actually reminded me of the disappointment in that feature, so I don't want to undercut your presentation, but there has been some modifications which I think diminishes the potential of the previous speaker. So that's upsetting. I was also upset about the new Star Wars film. Didn't enjoy that. It's just too bad. I really wish this came out, which sounds like something's in there. And then the next inclination where you could smash it on the floor to get whatever's in there, but that'd be impolite. So we're not going to do that. But I don't know. This kind of reminded me. You guys see the film The Matrix, where they just plug right into your head, right? And you don't have to worry about anything. Like right now, you got stuff to worry about. You got to worry about buying your groceries at Hy-Vee, or telling your kid you don't really love him or something like that. You got like real problems in the world. With this, you just plug it into your brain, and then the machine takes over, and the geniuses at Google and Facebook then are in control of your life, and they give you a relatively comfortable existence. And so that's what this thing offers, is just a neural pathway out of it. You don't have to do anything. You could just be on the couch eating tortino rolls. You know, you're just a speck of dust out of 7 billion. Nothing you do matters. So might as well just plug yourself into the computer and say goodnight, right? So that's what this is, and I highly recommend it. I'm just kidding.
What's the name of it?
I don't know. I can't get it open. But I was just joking. You guys should actually live life and not resign yourself over to the fate of robots, or however. Each of you does have unique existence and value. So I wanted to thank you all for that. And this is very fragile, so be careful with it.
Thank you, Jeff. I'm glad we got to the motivation part at the end. I think Dennis needs to come up, if somebody else will point the camera for him.
Yes. Nice.
Sir, good man.
Yeah.
In the bags.
Oh, nice. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, honored guests, viewers at home, how many of you want to look smashing today? Just smashing, just beautiful. Because today is your lucky day. Fairfield Dental Clinic, a locally owned business, is getting their new lip balm out.
Wow.
And not only is it locally owned, it's all natural. It's all natural. It's good for you. It's good for the planet. It's good for the bees. And it's made of beeswax, everything. There's so many benefits in this product. And today, it's on sale. 21% off. Exactly. Just today. You gotta buy it within the next 24 hours. Otherwise, it's not gonna work out. Too great. But if you buy it after that, we'll give you another discount. We'll figure one out for you. See, this dental clinic has worked so hard to make a really good lip balm. I would open it right now and put it all over my lips, and I would look really good, despite the fact that I got my shades on, my 4 eyes on. I could really improve my existence. You can really improve your life. This thing not only does it make your lips feel great, it makes everybody think you just look the best, but you are gonna smell so many good things from those bees. All the love, all the nurturing, it's gonna be there. It is imperative you improve yourself. It's imperative you improve your community. It is imperative that you buy this beautiful Fairfield Dental Clinic lip balm today. Thank you. Good stuff.
Okay.
Another round?
Is that everyone? Mohammed, you want to try it? It's not easy, but gosh, if Dennis can do it.
I tried.
Come on up. Good man.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, first I'm very happy to be here with you, and really I appreciated your welcoming and to give me getting me more comfortable when to be with you and talk with new language. I'm coming from different culture, big different. I'm coming from big different language. We speak Arabic, speak different between Arabic and English. Big different between cultures there in Africa and African countries and in US here. I don't know what is it, but there is something internally and no way to move and no way to do anything inside. It's the same like depression. And sometimes the life is the same situation. We are inside this, and we can't move, we can't do anything. Just to stay here and watch. But we need move. We need to move. We need to talk. We need to shout. We want to change the life. We want to change the world and to make it a better place. We should think about ourselves internally. And we need to break the present. We need to break the cage. We need to break anything like to keep us without moving, without anything. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, great job. I think what we'll do next is do the round robin type story where we feed one person to the next, but what do the evaluators want to do? You want to go ahead and evaluate what we've seen so far? Because we won't have an evaluation on that part.
Might be better to just go ahead and do the evaluations now while it's fresh.
Okay, that makes sense to me. So, Will, are you ready?
Yeah, I believe I am.
Come on up.
Gotta check one thing there. I might have gotten a little confused.
I hope we.
Did you evaluate Dennis? Or
I did Peter Frazier,
make it good at the start?
Veda, Will, Dennis.
Okay, good. Good deal. Fellow Golden speakers, guests, viewers at home. Table Topics is an amazing thing because it gets us out here in front of the audience, speaking off the cuff, even though you get 30 seconds and some of you used it. It's always a good thing that I like to see because it's our gift as Golden speakers to you, the speaker, to kind of collect your thoughts for a brief period and then go out there and do your thing. And our first Table Topic speaker, Miranda, I felt like she did take those 30 seconds. And she was here, she took her time, and then she dove right in. I personally love that technique. You have that stillness, that silence, and then the dynamism, the action. If I had a suggestion, I feel like you might have just go to the very edge of the 30 seconds, and I feel like you missed a chance to talk about truth, being fluid. You brought up fluidity, and I thought that might have been a good thing to do there. But I loved how you were very animated, and your action kept my attention throughout the entire speech. Great job there. Prana, just what I needed. The 14 unobtainium child's inserts, I guess. Yeah, foot support. Thank you. You took about 10 seconds. I would like you to take a little bit longer. You were very confident, and come out here and said, "I don't need very much time to sell you on this. I got this." But you struggled a little bit with the name and the purpose. With a little bit of time, you can just think of that in your head. Go, okay, this is what this is. This is what I'm going to say about this. Now let's go. Prana, you are extremely creative, and your creativity creates mirth in your audience. It is imperative that you master control of your own powers and obtain balance between order and chaos. Hudaifa, be aware of the danger within your kitchen. You started a totally different way than everybody else. Everybody else was pretty positive, was happy to sell. You went with the fear, and I love that. I love that you went a different direction because it taps into another primal sort of urge and feeling. The thing is, I would have liked if you would maybe perhaps started with a story of what could happen. You mentioned later on some of the things, but it was more intellectual. I wanted kind of the emotion, thinking about, God forbid my son or my nephew or, danger there. But I liked how you stayed on point throughout your entire speech. This object is dangerous. You need to protect those who are too young, too innocent to understand the danger of this from themselves and from this, and just hammer that through the entire speech. I love that. Emery, the spatula. You spoke about how this spatula kind of brought everybody together, and how difficult it is to buy gifts for when you have a huge family of 14, and how you came about this. My suggestion for you, you're a natural storyteller. I would like a story about the spatula in use, maybe in one of those big Thanksgivings or Christmas sort of things. But overall, I felt like it was a good talk there. Thank you. Jeff, take your 30 seconds. So you don't break your toy. Figure out what it is and then kind of go into that. Let me ask you a question. Were you off balance a little bit during this talk?
Yeah, I thought so.
I thought so too. But it wasn't really obvious. Like I only thought that because I've seen you speak many times over the years. And to somebody who didn't know you as well, I thought you actually were able to kind of cruise through. You could kind of you sort of dodged and weaved through your speech, kept it kind of lively, kept it going, even though you really didn't have much to say. You're really going in. You really didn't have that one point throughout the entire thing, but you were able to maneuver as an experienced speaker. It is a bold play, however, to critique the previous speaker's speech, particularly when he used the table topics evaluated. Just a small suggestion there. Just be aware of that. Mohammed, the cylinder. If you aren't sure what it is, you can make a safe bet that we probably don't know what it is either. I had no idea what you had in your hand. Actually, no, I'm not sure. I'm just kind of curious to see. I still have very little idea what this is. Okay, it's some sort of. Okay, I'm not entirely sure what that is. All right. I liked how in your speech you didn't go small. You talked about how basically we need to kind of get beyond these sort of petty things and encourage us to kind of rise above that. I thought that was a great talk. The only thing, the only part of it was I heard all this big, this big push to kind of evolve and to kind of ascend, but I didn't understand what the object was, so it was kind of hard to connect the two for me. But overall, I love table topics. I love doing them. I love hearing them, and I especially love evaluating them. Thank you all for the opportunity to evaluate your table topics.
Another tough act to follow, fellow Toastmasters, viewers at home, and honored guest Mohammed. Peter, pretty much nailed your table topics all around. You greeted the audience, you had a friendly demeanor, expressive hand gesture, vocal variety, facial expression, eye contact throughout the room, and close with a call to action. My only suggestion would be to close the sale, nail it, put some oomph in that call to action. Frazier, finger puppets. I like the way you really got out here next to the crowd, waving those things in their faces. And started off strong, see what happens. This brings happiness, you must buy it. But I wanted some specifics. You could do anything with it, but what are those things? Okay? Beta. I thought it was a shot cup. I don't know what it is. It's a shot measuring dispenser, but great take on it. Imagine a life without cups. One of the greatest inventions of all time. You really milked a lot out of that. I would suggest wider eye contact. I think you were pretty much slanted that way, and I felt a little left out over here. Great ending. This is the Holy Grail. Will, talk about milking the most out of a humble object. Freedom and power to have knowledge flowing directly in your brain. For a pair of earbuds, you didn't talk about all of the junk that you could be ingesting as well. My suggestion is that to go with that eloquence, you go with broader gestures. And you know, what I wrote here is wider gestures to go with soaring thoughts.
Thank you.
And Dennis, chapstick, you're enthusiastic, excited, you greeted the audience, great eye contact, strong call to action. My suggestion would be just for contrast, throw us off, maybe almost drop down to a whisper, let people in on a secret. Well, that's my evaluation. Thank you.
Thank you, Emery. Thank you, Will. I forgot to have us vote for table topic speaker. We don't have to mention the names. I guess we should mention the name if somebody went over time. Sort of a negative way to do it. Did anybody not qualify in the room?
No, everyone qualified.
Okay, very good.
Qualified.
So there are little slips of paper around the room. Pull off best table topics and give us your vote.
So everybody here participated except you?
Let's go to the next portion of the meeting, which is the reports. And this is a normal meeting for reports, so first we need to hear from the timer. Miranda, could you give us a report of all the times? Awesome, thank you.
For the table topics, everyone did wonderful tonight. I was really glad to see everyone participate. Mohammed, you had 2:29. Dennis, 1:51. Jeff, 2 minutes, 28 seconds. Will, 1 minute, 47 seconds. Emery, 1 minute, 4 seconds. Veda, your reference is from Judges 7. It's the Battle of Gideon in Israel. There were 10,000 men. He narrowed it down to 300 by choosing those who did lap out of the river. The men who were so thirsty for living water, they were just like, drink. And then that's how God was able to tell Gideon that those are the ones who are ready for battle, the ones who will literally put their face in the water. But I liked your cover. It was beautiful. And back to the timing. Hudaifa, 1:15. Frazier, 1:25. Prana, 1:47. Peter, 1:40. And myself, 1:57. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Miranda. Let's go on to the grammarian. I'm sorry, the odd counter. Veda, who did what?
People who did really well tonight were Dennis, Hudaifa, Miranda, Peter, Frazier, Hudaifa, Emery, Will, and then in the other roles, Dennis, Mohammed, and that's it for that. Now, people who had a lot of ums and ahs were Prana, about a dozen, Jeff, about a dozen, Will, half a dozen, Emery, about a dozen, and Prana's continuing to rack them up. Back to you, Prana.
Thank you. I'd like to hear the scores on the word of the day. The grammarian could give us the report. That'd be great.
The grammarian was
Yes. Thank you.
the winner of the word of the day competition was Dennis, who used it 3 times, whap, 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 right at the end of the speech. Miranda, of course, and Prana used it. And I think that the grammarian forgot to use it. I'm thinking that's the case. And various other people used it, but I admit that I was getting too wrapped up in some of the speeches to catch every occurrence. In terms of the checking the use of the language, I did not find any flubs, anything that was incorrect. There were some nice usages of the language. Miranda started out strong with the highlighter of truth. Prana made up a word, which was good usage. Unobtainium is an element that is no doubt very valuable and rare. Fraser, buy it now. And to Daifa, to keep your children safe. Keep whatever it was. Was it a garlic press? Keep garlic presses away from your children. Veda, this is the Holy Grail. Emery, you can never have too many spatulas. Will, knowledge flowing. I wasn't quite sure that it would flow directly to my brain without getting my ears involved, but it was close enough. Jeff, each of us is unique. And Mohammed, we need to break out. Approximately what you said. So thank you everyone for a strong performance in the use of the language.
Thank you, Paul. Let's move on to, okay, I guess I'm subbing in here for a joke for Leslie. All right. I know it's a little bit late for Thanksgiving, but this is a joke to prepare for next Thanksgiving. So, everyone is used to eating turkey on Thanksgiving, but this was a bison joke. So, it's the only thing I could really, I'm trying to make sense of the joke. I just heard it like 10 minutes ago. So, okay, so there's a kid. He's going to school. There's actually a buffalo. He's going to school, and he's at school, and his dad says, "All right, have a great day. It's your first day at school. Pull yourself together. You'll get through the day, and just be strong." And I'll be back at the end of the day. And the kid says, "All right, bye, Dad." And he says, "All right, bye, son. Have a good day." Okay, moving on. Next joke. Bye, son. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. How we doing on time? I got about 30 seconds, I think. It's dragging by. Okay. All right. That's not a pun, right? That's a statement. Okay, here we go. I'm on to the evaluation section of the meeting. I am the general evaluator of this meeting, and I am here to evaluate the two evaluators. I'm not going to go really deep into the actual table topics, but what I want to say is that Emery did a great job with telling Paul, I think, some comments of his, basically about his speech, how Paul had this, he nailed it with gestures and, stage movement and vocal variety and softness and loudness and all the great things that you want to be in a Toastmaster speech. So I liked how you gave him a praise. I also liked how you gave him a room for improvement to just sell it, because that's what we're doing tonight. We're selling, So we gotta sell whatever was in that bag. So I like how you gave him some praise and you gave him some room for improvement. And I also liked how Will, both of you had a great follow through. You didn't get lost like I did during that joke. You start, you have a start, you have a middle, and you have an end. So I like how you kind of follow a logical order to your table topics, evaluations. I also liked how yeah, we didn't really roast anybody tonight. Did anybody feel roasted? You know, for the mostly I felt like we all had praise, improvements, and then like kind of a nice wrap up for the evaluation. So just a little, Emery, you said you gave Miranda a great tip. You said she used the 30 seconds. You also said, I feel like you could have applied the same advice from Peter to Miranda. I didn't really know if I should or shouldn't buy it. Whatever you were selling. I didn't know if I should buy it, but I think it was a great speech. Miranda had a great speech, and everyone had a great speech. But I really think we need to focus on the sales tactics. And
Bitcoins.
yeah, Bitcoins. No, not Bitcoins. No. I feel like the sales tactics were good. Everyone had a unique sales tactic, and Emery and Will picked up on that. Jeff Shipley, represent. Thanks for coming to the meeting. And your speech, although you did segue, no one picked up on the word segue. I don't think, in Toastmasters we segue, and Emery didn't really say that you had segued, but you did. Okay. Will. Oh yeah, Emery. Will.
I would
Okay.
have said that had I evaluated.
Thank you. Okay. And let's see, Dennis. I don't think. Let's see. You were optimistic. I feel like your speech was really optimistic, and your optimism and sincerity was shown. And I feel like whoever did evaluate you, was it Emery or Will? I don't remember, but whichever one evaluated, I feel like they could have picked up on your natural sales ability. And yeah, beautiful lip balm. Yeah. Let's see. Basically, yeah, so like I said, just to wrap up, you had a great logical flow, both of you guys, Emery and Will, and great flow, great, you gave them praise, you gave them summary, and you gave us praise and summary because we all participated. And I am just grateful to have been your evaluator, both of you. You made my job easy. Thank you.
Mr. General Evaluator, would you like us to
to
line up
continue the
across
meeting?
the front of the room?
Yeah,
and
let's do it.
like a-
Let's do it. Let's just do a round robin, shotgun, boom, down the line, just round robin. Everyone gets the 30 seconds to do a story.
We need a timer to give.
Is it the same story?
No, a story. We have to go in a circle.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a circle.
Oh.
So
Or a
whoever
square.
ends up on the end of the line
We got time.
is going to start the story. The only rule is
Thank you, Jeff. All right. General evaluators, 8:46.
so the only rule is that you just continue the thread from the person that handed the story off to you.
But the thread, the last word they said, you start
It
with.
doesn't have to be the last word, just
The
kind of
idea.
in general.
Okay.
The same.
Miranda, why don't you
Yeah.
start us with 30 seconds of something that maybe touches on Star Wars or Yoda,
Okay.
theme of the meeting. Thanks.
Yoda
And I can
is
just
like
pass the timer
he's the
along
green
so
guy
that
with the ears
everyone
in
knows
Star
how
Wars. He
long
usually
they've
knows
been.
how to use the Force.
Should I just like hit go and then when I
You know
get
the
30
Force?
hand it?
Just say time.
Like you
Time, okay, then
Just
I'll
like
step
30
out.
seconds.
Then I'll step out. Okay.
You can like levitate objects with your hands.
That's Star Wars. Okay. Ready? There was one Jedi who could save them all. The only problem was they couldn't find any other Jedi. But I'm a Jedi, they would tell their friends, and they would be mocked and ridiculed. But really, I am a Jedi. And then one day, I get the whole.
Even so-called Jedi have delusions. What makes a Jedi? What makes a hero? Obviously, in your own mind, you're possessed with this knowledge of power and the influence you wield. But really, you're just a moisture farmer on a far-flung planet on the outer rim of the galaxy. And what are you ever going to amount to?
Time.
Absolutely nothing, because what does it matter anyway? Is that Benicio del Toro character mentioned in the latest film was that what is the point of all this fighting? And you actually win by treading the lines in between the fighting and just making the best of whatever in your world is. And so the Jedi was contemplating this paradox of existence, and then he noticed that over on the horizon there's an army of wiener dogs that were looking on. And we're trying to figure out what's this Jedi doing and what's their role.
Time.
And was he ever surprised to find that the army of wiener dogs all had lightsabers? And the wiener dogs were charging. History does not record whether they were charging on 4 legs or on 2 legs. But whichever it was intimidating, especially to anything that was less than about 6 inches tall. However, anyone else, such as normal people, oh, you have to tell me.
Oh, wait. You don't have to continue on this war. I think you have to look at the Earth. We're destroying everything here, and we're coming to destroy all of you. All these stars, all these enemies, all these friends. Here and there, everyone will be destroyed. Just wait until your turn.
So everyone was gonna be destroyed in 12 hours because the wiener dogs had lightsabers and they were multiplying fast. And but then there was a realization that if they could just call one person, we're looking for one person, could save the day. And they knew that one person would have a plan to fight off the impending doom. But this one person lived on an island in the middle of the ocean.
Time.
We've already established there's one person. There was only one Jedi, and he's faced with the army of wiener dogs, who he thought were his friends, but turned out they were working for the dark side. They were very dark wiener dogs. But suddenly, a whole 36 Siberian white huskies appear on the other horizon, and they have strapped to their backs lasers.
In the scenes cut from The Last Jedi, there was this long sequence of wiener dogs smashing through this casino, chased by this group of Siberian Huskies with lightsabers on their backs. Unfortunately, that was missing from the movie, and had it been there, I know Jeff Shipley would have loved it.
And what a beautiful scene that would be. The huskies chasing and demolishing those wiener dogs with the lasers on the back. The wiener dogs trying to hide in every little nook and cranny. You know how small they are? But those huskies, man, would just demolish everything. Nowhere for those wiener dogs to hide.
It's the wiener dogs and the huskies viciously battled it about. On the scene, we move over to the planet of Hoth, where we see an unraveling epic battle unfold again. And out of the nowhere, there comes the massive Yeti. A huge, huge Yeti. And there's not just one of them, there's 7 of them. And they're all out. From the other side, a massive pack of gray wolves. Now all 4 coming together. Or 3, now that the wiener dogs are being eaten viciously, ferociously by the Siberian Huskies. Who have no sense of mercy.
Let's see. The Last Jedi, 7 Yeti, the 2 remaining wiener dogs.
Yeah. And a partridge and a partridge.
They have a death match in the middle of the planet, and the winner is going to be the next to the Last Jedi, or his pet. To be determined. And stay tuned for the sequel.
Time.
Okay.
What's what we were talking about?
I don't know.
We're talking about ice chest.
We're still wondering that ourselves. Wiener dogs. You know what they are.
All right, so we're back, and let's just hear the meaning of words at this point. We are ready to move on to the last two portions of the meeting, and Hudaifa, you are.
You still remember me good.
Yes, we still have a meeting. We have to attend to some very important business. Although the problem of the wiener dogs is a mystery, and we do know for sure who won table topics. So let's hear the meeting awards.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Since we do not have a speech today, we have two awards today. The first award is for the best table topics. For today, Vida. Thank you. Sorry, it's not. It's Vida, not Peter.
Veda.
Veda. Okay.
Veda.
Veda.
Yeah. The E-fool.
Okay. And for best evaluator, we have for today, Will.
All right.
Thank you. And finally, we call back our president, Mr. Dennis, to wrap up the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for your participation. And it was a memorable story at the end. There were some tragic parts, but we all survived it. I'm glad. Thank you. Some quick announcements on here. Be sure you fill this out, as usual. January 23rd is our big event, right here in the Hy-Vee Club Room. It's Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Be early. We're going to try to recruit, get a lot of guests over here. It's going to be an exciting speech. And I will be following up with those of you who have been chosen to be on the Q&A board, on the panel, as members. Additionally, the club contest. There's likely to be an area contest in mid-February. So we should be holding a club contest likely either late January, most likely early February. So we have 1 week to regroup after our big event. Is there any other business that we'd like to attend to? Emery?
Yeah, well, I'm sure you've all seen the emails. We're working hard to book up the schedule of speeches through the end of March. I've heard from many of you have given me 2 dates. May have to shift around a little bit when we get these contest dates in here, but we can do that. But if I haven't heard from you on 2 speech dates by the end of March, please talk to me after the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Emery. Thank you. Anybody else have anything else to address? Mohammed, we are honored to have you today. What are your thoughts on the meeting?
Actually, I like your idea. Like I like this club, and I like your idea. And also I have a question. Like, how long have you been with this club? Like, and how long have you been know each other? And who is created this idea? Who did that? And why? This is a big question. Why?
It'll take about a half hour to tell you all that.
You mean like
We'll tell you after the meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good question.
Okay, but I know that is. I know that is a good idea. I know is that who did that is a good like creator. I know, but do you have any activities like? Do you have any activities other than like speech? Do you have any something to do like?
Social events?
I know it's not that. Yeah, it's social events. Like, do you have any like to help some people here, like to do something, volunteers, like, or just here for this conversation club, or
Just here, we usually have a picnic once a year, a social.
I think he's talking about teaching English or.
yeah, teaching English, and also some ideas about how to help somebody here, or like to do something volunteer, like for I don't know if there is shelter house here or no shelter house here for like. But
We don't specifically have those, a secondary purpose for the club. Primary purpose of the club is for the club meetings. Secondary purposes can develop as special projects, but there's nothing assigned. Like, we don't go out and adopt homeless dogs or, things like that. We don't have a secondary purpose. The main purpose of Toastmasters International can be explained to you afterwards, but it has a primary purpose of communication, leadership, learning, and practice in a club setting.
Some members do go beyond it, like one member, Jean, Dan's wife, leads a club at the penitentiary in Fort Madison and helps inmates work on their public speaking skills. And she and another member, who's no longer with us, led a public speaking class at the grade school level. So there are some things out in the community to help people, but not outside the public speaking arena. It's all focused on developing speaking skills.
and how do you announce it? Like, I haven't heard about this club before, just from Dennis, and I did like I searched online about any conversation club or discussion group here in Fairfield, and I didn't found anything. And
We have Facebook pages
The
and a
Facebook pages.
website, and we're doing this event on the 23rd to create publicity in the community.
Yeah, we do have some opportunities that we may be presented with for volunteering, and we're open to them. So if we find some good things, say with Restore, if we find something at the penitentiary over in Fort Madison, the organization itself, they sometimes do some, say, volunteer charitable events and conversational. There are some people who are very good communicators that we could find to also help out.
yeah,
If you or somebody you know is interested in.
And public access TV?
Yeah.
YouTube, we're out there.
I'd like to just mention one thing, and that is the purpose of Toastmasters is for us to learn how to think on our feet, to speak. And the average member of Toastmasters doesn't join and stay in the club for 10 years. They stay for long enough to learn, to become comfortable, and then they can go out and speak on whatever they like, wherever they like, and help whatever causes that they would like, and be more effective at making that happen. That's the purpose of Toastmasters.
thank you guys. I appreciate that.
Glad to have you, Mohammed. You're always welcome. Every Tuesday right here, 7:40, right nearby all the frozen goods. Are there any other questions, concerns of anybody?
Do we have
Yeah.
posters?
Posters. What's status on that? From the
They're
front line.
done.
Front line.
You were gonna pick
I'm
them
gonna-
up on
I'm
your
gonna go
lunch
grab
hour.
them. Yeah. and the honest truth comes out now.
Yeah.
I completely blanked out until this moment. So tomorrow I'm going for lunch. I'm gonna grab them. So in that case, now that I realize I completely forgot, I'll have to go and I will send an email out. What's a good place for everybody to meet at? Central, would it be here? Well, to get the posters, I could distribute them to
We,
people.
we have put them at Fairfield Nutrition before, where people could pick them up.
Yes.
Art's gone, but.
But the shop's still open.
Yeah.
Somebody's running, or keeping it open. We went in there today.
Okay.
They might be willing to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, you can. If you have Cindy's contact, I could. Talk with you guys
I
after.
would just get a hold of like Emery or Sue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Harvard.
Do whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. We could talk after meeting, and I'll
Yeah.
do that, and we can coordinate that. How about with all you guys? I'll send you guys an email, and then we only need 7 volunteers actually. So, anybody who's interested in volunteering, please raise their hand right now. We need 7 of you guys. With how many posters we have? So we have. Yeah.
We'll give you we'll contact you after the meeting.
Yeah. So you guys all contact me, and then I'll give you guys some places, and we'll meet up then tomorrow. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks for the reminder. Completely forgot. I remember to write everything down except that, and that's just defending my ego. Anyway, everybody, on that note, are we all good to go? All right. Thank you.